session is especially for you caregivers, but welcome. And wherever this place in the world you're tuning in, hello, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Maybe you are tuning us in on a replay, but I'm grateful that you have decided to spend a little time with me. So if you're caring for a stroke thriver, you're doing something brave. And I don't mean brave in the cheesy way. I mean the real kind, that kind that shows up on tired days, on confusing days, scary days, and still finds a way to keep going. So I say thank you from my heart out to caregivers. My wife, she does it amazing. And I'm grateful that you stand by us But let me dive in for some announcements. Here's some quick updates. First, the Stroke Folk Show is now the Stroke Thriver Podcast. Yahoo! And the name is updated, but the same mission. I'm helping people thrive after a stroke, and helping caregivers stay steady too. It's important. So, second, why I do this show. You may wonder. There's a lot of reasons. There can be if you look at past shows, some maybe I mentioned something on them, but the main things is number one is I practice my speech, and way back when the first stroke took out my speech center, and I have aphasia. Someday I hope I won't, but I do now, and I need to practice speaking, and sometimes it's easier to read from a script, so that's why I use notes, and sometimes I attempt to share what's on my mind and my heart, and that's one of the reasons I do this, because I can do this. I can share those thoughts or feelings with you, and second of all, I'm curious, and when I find something interesting, I want to share with others. You are my friends on my show or my podcast. So that's why I do this show. I'm grateful that the internet has made it possible that we can do it for a no cost or low cost, just our time. And I don't take that lightly. You take your time and watch, and it's important that you do. So our time is priceless. We don't get it again. And each time we decide to do something, that means we're not doing anything else. So thank you for coming. So third, my books. They're two and growing, but the first started it was my Stroke Survivor First Aid Kit, and I published that in November 2024, and it's exciting, and a lot of people have found it to be helpful. And what I did is, way back when, 3 years prior to that, almost 4 years, I started blogging. And I decided, wow, I can collect those blogs and I can put them into a book. And I divided them by four areas: attitude or mindset, our physical body, our emotional attitude or emotional arena, and the fourth was our mental skills. And so anyways, if you want to find out more, you can type in your browser tinyurl.com/stroke-book. And if you want to be fancy, you can do the same thing, except instead of saying book, say books. And you can learn about my second book, which is a word search for a stroke recovery book, because I want to give back. Because first, when I was early on in the recovery, the speech therapist had me using these books to I could reconnect my brain with words, the words that I would see or would think. And the first one, the first book, volume one, it finds words that go from left to right or up to down. Volume two will add a diagonal word, and volume three will be fancy. It will all those will also be, some can be backwards. So that's why I found that progressed with the word search books. I could use the more difficult for them. For maybe you, if you just had a stroke, maybe you were I was, and difficult was other people say that's easy, but that's if you want to find that, you can go tinyurl.com/stroke-books instead of book. Book, which just gets you this one. Anyways, all right. Number four. Way back when, when I decided on the title, I used Stroke Survivor because that's all I knew. That's what people would often refer to me as. And I realized about 2 years ago, I was taking part of a focus group on stroke patients. And the director, who is a PhD in physical therapy, was going on about the stroke survivors. And afterwards, I took him on the side and I said, have you ever thought, why do you use Survivor? And he said, well, I use it because to get my C's funded, I have to have them find me, which I mean stroke survivors. And I said, well, it's kind of like a little bit like a chicken or egg. You can't ever find another label to describe stroke patients. And I said, how about stroke thrivers? And I decided I was going to end it in OR instead of ER, because OR most mimicked the survivor. So anyways, I decided I wanted to get it out in the public. So I commissioned people to design the stroke thriver stuff. And I have now like 12 or 13 designs, but here's one: always keep fighting stroke thriver awareness, the OR. So when you wear them, it's two things among many, but two things happen. When people see it, they see stroke thriver and they think, that's odd. What's that? I want to ask him about that or ask her about that. And that you can talk about your progress, and our words design our world, and we break out from our survivor and we're going to be a thriver. And the second thing, it gives you an opportunity to talk about stroke prevention, and that's always huge. And anytime we can talk about it, it helps. So remember, if you want to, you can get you can find out more about them. You can go to in your browser, type in tinyurl.com/stroke-designs. All right, so you can go. And the fifth, I want you to remember, maybe you have heard this, but remember that uh, you have learned from a previous session of this show, this podcast several back, but people change when their words, their body and brain, and their actions all line up, and they do it over and over repeatedly. And it's important that you do those three things because if our words aren't aligned, if our actions aren't aligned, or our physiology or our body and our mind or our brain isn't aligned, any one of those can be off, and it's not as effective. When you put those three together and you do it repeatedly, you change beliefs. So huge. All right. Now, after we allowed our sponsors, I'll go back to the today's message. So here's what I've noticed in caregivers, and in myself, I do. Your mind may look calm on the outside, but your breath tells the truth. So it's often short, it's tight, um, it's high in the chest, like your body is bracing for the next thing. And that's why this topic matters. So, a personal reason for this subject is it's close to my heart. My mom had chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, from smoking cigarettes for over 25 plus years. And this is a long term lung disease that makes it hard to move air out of the lungs. So breathing can feel like you're trying to breathe through a straw, especially during exertion or a flare up. So, my wife, my mom was on supplemental oxygen, and basically for 24/7 the last 7 years of her life. So she often worried about running out of oxygen. So watching her struggle for air has taught me something that I'll never forget. Breathing isn't basic when it's hard. It becomes everything. Everything pales in comparison to breathing. And when you're worried about your next breath, it gets your attention. So, so that's also why I want to be careful about the fact. I'm going to repeat. I'm going to repeat this. You may have heard that breath hold numbers online. There are various different items, but here's one that's amazing. Using the room air, um, uh, the men's record is 11 minutes and 35 seconds. So they're allowed to prep their body so they can breathe in and out really quickly. And but it's amazing. They can only do room air, and and anyways, this feat was achieved by Stefan uh, Mifsud in France in 2009. So I maybe I can do 2 minutes, maybe not. So that may be different for you, but it's impressive. So we're not chasing that number. We're building a steady breath that you can use in real life every day, in the car, in the waiting room, after a tough conversation with your stroke survivor, before sleep. So one thing I must say: if you're post-stroke or having breathing slash or heart uh, issues, please check with your health professional before starting new breathing practice. So I'm going to talk about two tools you can use today, and So no equipment, no special setup. I'm going to use these two easy, simple practices you can use every day. The first is called the box breathing, uh, like a square. So when your mind won't stop, you can use the box breathing instead. So this is the easiest reset button I know of because it gives your brain a simple job. Do the same in 4 seconds. There's four parts. The first is inhale for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold empty. You don't have any air for 4 seconds. It's a challenge, especially the empty part. So it's really simple. So inhale, hold, exhale, and hold the four. Empty. Obviously, I had a little bit left in me. So do it for 3 cycles. Go around for 3 times. If 4 seconds feels too long, try 2 or 3 seconds. If holding feels uncomfortable, shorten the holds. So keep it calm. The goal is steadiness, not strain. So where caregivers tell me it helps is right before walking into a therapy session when they're nervous, after reading when something scary online, when they're trying to not to snap at people that they love, and when their body feels wired at night. So any of those things, or all those things that can be on your mind. So the second practice is called diaphragmatic or belly breathing. When you need it to your body to feel safe, you do the diaphragmatic or belly breathing. So use your one hand on your chest, your other on your belly. If one side doesn't cooperate, alternate with the functional one. So you slowly inhale through the nose. You let the belly rise. You gently exhale through pursed lips through your mouth. And you let your shoulders relax. So do it for 2 minutes. This practice can help your body shift out of the brace mode. Caregiving can train the nervous system to stay on alert, but belly breathing is a simple way to tell the body we're safe enough to breathe fully. Fill your belly up. Since this is a stroke recovery community, here's the practical link. Breathing muscle patterns can change after stroke, and research on post-stroke respiratory training shows measurable improvement in diaphragm function. That's when they're focusing on stroke patients, but the caregivers, the same dilemma is there. You often have to you shorten your breath when you don't even realize it. So yes, this episode supports me, the thriver, but it also supports yourself. It's the caregiver. So the caregiver promise. Please do it with me. You can make it. It's small. It's real. It's very doable. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need another task that makes you feel behind. You need something small that gives you a win. So here's your win. Either do 1 minute of box breathing or 2 minutes of belly breathing. So pick one and do it once today before you go to bed. So then please share this with a caregiver who's running on fumes, not next week, not when they crash. Do it now. So if you want to say it below, which one are you trying first? The box breathing or the belly breathing? I'll see you next week. And gratitude and gratitude.